Compulsive, repetitive outbursts, often profane. I guess that's how it's often perceived.
Be saying, "Oh fuck us."
Tourette syndrome, it's where people swear a lot and have tics and stuff like that. It's like an extension perhaps of stuttering, I would have said.
A Tourette's is those who shout bad languages.
Well, Tourette syndrome can be described by things called tics. So tics are involuntary movements. There are two types of tic. There are movement tics, where someone might fling their arm or move their head or neck, or maybe just small things such as blinking. Whereas vocal tics, the other types of tics, involve anything that makes a noise. So it could be a sniff or a cough or a word or a phrase or anything that is vocal.
Tourette's affects me generally kind of it's a daily thing, but it's not so much of a problem as it used to be. It's mainly trying to hide it is the big thing, just so people don't notice it. So it's finding kind of the right pocket of time in any given moment or situation where you can tick or whatever it is you're doing without somebody else noticing. So it's really just social situations. Because people get a little bit freaked out by it. I think they're not expecting it, and if they don't know you have Tourette's and notice you doing something like that, then yeah, a lot of people just get really weirded out by it. So it's just trying to hide it.
There are some documentaries out there that actually are a true representation of Tourette syndrome, and they do accurately portray it. But unfortunately, in the media, there is this tendency to focus specifically on the swearing element, and you can understand to some extent that they do that to attract headlines and to attract viewing figures, but it isn't really the true case, and you're not actually representing the condition.
If you're editing a documentary, firstly, obviously you're going to locations, you're picking the places, so you're filming them going shopping in a supermarket because that's going to be the most awkward time for it to happen. You know, they put them in the situations so that you see it that way, so that you see it when it's the most awkward or in a public place.
My son was approached in the street by a police officer who swore at him because my son had used foul language. My son has Tourette syndrome. Yes, he comes out with quite abusive words. He shouts them.
The point is, Tourette syndrome makes John swear when he doesn't want to.
Hey,
John.
fuck off!
Here he tries to stop himself calling his mother a slut.
Oh, Tuesday, I think, if we've got it.
Slut! Mum, you slut!
Kitty cat, Catkin. We'll get Catkins, that's only 26, that'll do.
On Big Brother, because it was that, you know, you can't really get around the fact that it's just basically sitting on sofas all day, talking at each other inside a house, with no sort of pre-arranged stuff except maybe the activities they have to do. It was good. It just felt like, you know, real life Tourette sufferer rather than, you know, Tourette sufferer show about him. It's yeah, it's only easier to relate to, I think, for people watching the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Pete!
I don't know what it feels like to lay down and relax. You know what I mean? Like, have I actually relax and just not have any of my body just feel like it's like needs to move, and it's really uncomfortable. It's like I can't just like. It's like an ache. It's like achy. It's a phantom achy weird shit, and you have to. You have to like move your arm just to get it away. But if you don't move your arm, the phantom weird shit just kind of gets more achy, and then it. And if you don't do it, it just gets more achy and more achy and more achy until you just go mad. It's like a. I used to say to my mum, I feel like I'm being squeezed by a bear. That's why I do this like breathing in thing, because I always think like I can't breathe because I've got this like weird, like crushing feeling. It's just strange. know what I mean? It's like all my nerves are
Generally, when you say Tourette syndrome to someone who doesn't know what it is, they automatically associate it with the swearing tic. Whereas in actual fact, it affects only 10% of those who have the condition. So 90% of people who have Tourette's, who tell other people, they usually find it quite a surprise because they automatically think, well, they don't swear, so they can't have the condition.
As I'm 30 and it's calm, the swearing's calmed down because of just age, like the doctor said. I meet people who like, oh, Pete, all right, mate, wake. And the next thing they say is they're looking at me like that, and I'm like, and they're like, where's your Tourette's gone? I'm like, mate, you know what I mean? Because I haven't sworn at them. They're like, where's your Tourette's gone? They're like, were you faking it on Big Brother? And I'm like, just because I haven't called you a wanker, they like get offended, you know what I mean?
The normal prognosis is for the tics to start at around the ages of 10 to 12. Up to the age of 18, there's a gradual decline in many cases where the tics will reduce in their frequency and their severity. And for quite a lot of people, by the time they reach 18, they will stop ticking or go on to lead the rest of their lives relatively tic-free.
And I get questioned about my Tourette's. Like, I saw, oh yeah, like stuff on YouTube. I met Pete recently, and his Tourette's wasn't like it was on Big Brother. I reckon he's a big fake. And oh my God, because he didn't call him a wanker. But they haven't got no idea that it's going on all over my body. In like little different ways, because they don't know, all they think it is like me calling everyone a wanker all the time.
There are a number of other conditions associated with Tourette syndrome. The main ones are obsessional compulsive disorder and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was younger, because apparently I didn't really take in much. I was all over the shop, but I don't know, maybe I just don't care.
There are other things like depression and anxiety as well that are all linked in with Tourette's.
People who have Tourette's and see it as an illness and it's like not part of them, they get depressed. If they accept it and like nurture it and make it into their character and like, learn how to use it to the best of their abilities, they'll find that it's actually not that bad to have. It's quite cool actually, You know what I mean? If they sat down and painted a picture, they'd be like, wow, that's pretty good.